So you were talking about the brotherhood and the bantering that happens when people stay, and we just talked about what staying means for those people who didn't know. That's bro language right there, right?
Yeah,
Take that
yeah,
to the
yeah,
view. Take that
yeah.
to Whoopi. Hey Whoopi. But one of the things that I think is key here to talk about too. Oh, and also those who are talking about maybe going to see counseling and stuff like that. Journaling is a great way to do that if you don't feel yet comfortable talking to somebody else. If you can't write it down between you and the pages, that's a sign, right?
Hmm.
Because I have tons of journals. Um, Brotherhood and mentorship, right?
Yeah.
As a man, and like you have a prominent role at work and the different things that you do, and your role is demanding. So how important to you is it to foster your own personal mentorship in the things that you do while having, the brotherhood access, like friendships? Like, do your friends know you have those type of development things that you do in your life?
Yeah, I mean, some of them do. Not, I mean, not everybody, but some of them do. And the like mentorships on their own are incredibly key, and you've got to have people that challenge you in your life, and challenge you from not a place of deriving results. I think
Mm,
that's key, right? Like you have bosses that
right.
that challenge you to be able to derive results. They want to see more profit. They want to see whatever come from you and your work centers and whatever it is that you're controlling. So they have their own motivations for creating these challenging situations. True mentorships come from a place of it's far more altruistic in a sense. They're coming from a place of you are uh, you becoming better is better for them because they're deriving enjoyment from your success, right? And so when it comes to brotherhood and mentorships, I think mentors can become brothers. I don't necessarily think brother. I don't think it can be the opposite. Like I think when your foundational relationship is one of informality and banter and compromising situations, because you're never more compromised than when you are with your really good friends. Like you do wild and crazy stuff, and those don't make people that participated in those situations with you don't make good mentors, and they shouldn't be your mentors. Um, like they just don't, right? And so
Don't have the
I
people you who do foolish things with tell you how to live your.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're doing the foolish things with you. Like, what
Yeah,
leg do they have to stand on?
yeah,
There
yeah,
has to
yeah.
be some mystery to who your mentor is, right? There has to be at least a little bit. And um, but that's none of these rules are hard and fast, and none of them are set
Mhm.
in stone either, right? Like I definitely think my granddad is a huge mentor in my life, and like I know a lot of his dirty laundry, and I know um a lot of his, bad decisions that he's made. But
Mhm.
that also creates authenticity, right? Like that
Mhm.
that builds that respect. Now, I didn't participate in them, so there isn't this like, man, I was there too. What you talking about? You didn't learn that. Like the the fact that I didn't participate in them turns those bad decisions into lessons as opposed to
Mhm.
actions. So I think there's some difference there. But like my friends, when there's some that are like your friends. The thing about your friends is that you're all not always in the same spot,
Mhm.
right? Like
Mhm.
there's some, like we kind of talked about it, your staying power. Like the friends
Yeah.
that have the staying power, you're all going to go through seasons, you're all going to go through cycles, and you're all going to have different moments in your life where you say, I was succeeding, I was failing, but at the end of the day, Emerald was there. At the end of the day, Mr. Locker Room was there, right? Like these folks were with me and they were there. And those are your friends. And your because of that, and because of that in continuity, some friends will respect and admire
Mhm.
your mentorships, and respect and admire the fact that you have them. Others won't understand them because they're not at that point in your life.
Yeah.
And when you can seem you as a human can seem disingenuous when you talk about a conversation that you had with your mentor. Like that seems like uh, you know, rich people problems, right? Like it just seems like you're at just a different phase. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I definitely have there's conversational topics that you look at and you say, this is one that I'm just not going to. I mean, it's not like I'm hiding it, like they know I've got it, but it's not worth bringing up in conversation because the conversation is not mutually beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and is while there's others that are like that respect that and they say they're like, yeah, man, like that's an interesting conversation. I'm gonna have to bring that up with mine, or like y'all are in the same space.
Yeah.
But that harkens back to us talking about rooms and being in the right room, and discussions have rooms too. And
Mm-hmm.
you like whether you're the that discussion that discussion and is that conversation and is the ideas that you're bringing forward, is it the right room? Are you having the correct situational awareness to be able to discuss these things?
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to do is have yourself and what you're trying to do be devalued by people that you respect and love, like your friends being those people that we're talking about. You don't
Mm-hmm.
want to have your stuff devalued. You don't want to feel um, silly for having these situations, or silly for investing in personal growth
Yeah.
and those kinds of things. But when you reach a certain point in life, and it can be adulthood. Like it's not a financial thing or a career thing, or it when you reach a certain point to where your foundation stops being enough to give you guidance, when your foundation stops being enough to give you guidance, mentorships have to come into play.
Oh, that's good.
Like they have to be there, because now whether that be your childhood didn't prepare you for the moment that you're in, or you're just graduated college and you're entering into a career field in which you have no experience,
Yeah.
or you're progressing in your current career field to the point to where you're starting to handle C-suite problems, right? Like these things are um, when your foundation and when your experience isn't enough, you have to rely on somebody else's. And so that's where these mentorships come into play. And personal personal mentors, like those role models, those teachers, those grandparents, those um, colleagues, those whatever that kind of help guide you through um, those moments in life that your experience has failed you, are what make us better. And that's what makes the journey easier. That's what makes those pieces easy.
That you said something a lot of times because I've had people who have asked me to be their mentor, right? And
Hmm.
I'm like, you don't know, and I'm looking at them. I said, do you know what you're asking?
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you really think about that? Right? Because
Yeah.
it's like, are you asking because you're trying to flatter? Are you asking because you're trying to be close to something that you think will make you look good or look better? Are you asking because you're truly ready for what accountability looks like and have somebody in there? Because I'll tell them, I said, you just asked me to take a shower with you,
Yeah.
right? You see
Yeah.
me, I see you. There's no that what you just, and people say, well, that's a bit explicit. It's like it is, because you're asking to enter into a personal space to where I'm allowing you to see me, so that way you can see how I think, my thought process and things like that, so that way you can determine whether or not you want to adopt that type of mindset, because something about me, you want me to mentor you in. And that
Hmm.
means that in order for me to do a good job at mentoring you, I have to see you unexplicitly, vulnerable, transparent. Like there's no covering up. That's like, what's their accountability? What you got going on? You're telling me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and you have to trust me to give you insight and wisdom that's for your benefit, not for myself. So now you're talking about a completely different type of relationship and dynamic. And if I mess up, allowing you to see that mess up and then walk you through what the correction of that looks like, walk you through how I come out of that, and letting you see that without you devaluing my position in your life because you saw me make a mistake. So,
Yep.
do you really know what you're asking for when you're saying, "Oh, can you be my mentor?" When I break that down to people, they're like, I'm not here to be your cheerleader. It's like that's not what a mentor is. A mentor is not here to be your cheerleader. That's your support team. A mentor
Yep.
is here to bring the rod, the correction, the rebuke, the chastisement, and to say that keep going in that direction. They're not here to necessarily be to make you happy. They're here to challenge you, to pull out of you what you couldn't pull out of yourself. They're here to see all of your blind spots and bring them to your face so that you can see them and grow. They're not here to make you to coax you. They're not here for an ego trip. They're not here to let you peacock. They're not that's
Yep.
not what a mentor is for. A mentor is to help you get past where you are, to bring out the absolute greatest potential that you have. You might not like your mentor at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so
Yep.
you're asking, when you're asking people, especially me, if anybody has ever come around me and I've been somewhat of a mentor for you, it's like I tell you the truth. I will always tell you the truth. But if you're asking me as a mentor, then I will not let you duck and dodge those conversations. A mentor would not let you duck and dodge those conversations. A mentor will not chase you. If
No.
you set the thing, here's the appointment, here's the thing, we have the stuff. If you don't show up, they will hold you accountable, but they're not going to chase you, right? Yeah, if I know something's going on, I'll say, hey, we have an appointment. And if he, after so many times, okay, well, we're not meeting anymore. I'm not helping you with that anymore. It's not because I don't care. It's because it's like time is valuable. Not that I'm more important or that person is more important. It's just that you asked them to be a mentor for a reason, which means that they're probably not free as often, right?
Yeah.
They're busy. Respect their time. They're respecting your time. The resources it takes to be a mentor, the stewardship of the energy, because if they're pouring into you, they're not pouring into someone else. So it's
Hmm.
like having that mentor say it's not some street cred or some trophy thing. Like I got a mentor, and it's
Yeah.
like okay, and if you out here acting like that, is your mentor going to claim you as a mentee? I don't know that man.
Yep.
I don't know that. I don't know her.
Yep.
I'm not. They say I'm what? No, because it's like that people want to say, oh yeah, that's my mentor and blah blah blah, because that person has done the work to acquire the platform, to acquire the prestige and the credibility and things like that. And you think by proximity association that now you have attained that. That's the equivalent of you saying that you're rich, but you inherited what your parents did.
Yep.
It's like they did the work. They
Yep.
built the house. They did the thing to set you up. And that's not taken away from it because they did their responsibility to set their children up. Now, when you come into it, that doesn't mean that you've acquired the same discipline and resilience that will keep it and sustain it.
Or grow it.
So yeah. So when you said that, it's like most people they don't know what
Mm.
it takes to have a mentor
They're
and to
not
be
ready.
exactly and to be a
Like it's
like
not, well, and it's not a check of the box, right? Like
it's
you're
not
like a lot of for a lot of movement, like upward career movement, it's like, get a mentor, right? Well, if you're doing it to check the box and you're sitting there and you're saying, all right, I have a mentor, I checked that box. Okay, cool, right? You got one. But what are you getting out of it?
exactly.
Like what are you getting out of it? And
Exactly.
you we talk a lot about the mentor side, right? Like respecting the time of the mentor. Man, respect your time.
Yes.
Like there, if you are not willing, you as an individual are not willing to invest in your own growth, how are you going to expect anybody else to?
Hmm.
So have the discipline, sit down, make the appointments, go to the appointments, do the work,
Yeah.
invite that, like put yourself in vulnerable situations with your mentor because that's what they're there for, and
Yeah.
say, hey, come walk my business. Hey, come, can you come work a shift with me? Can you come see what I do? Can you go over this report? Can we talk about this? Look, I was in this, blah, 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 blah. Like
Hmm.
have your
Hmm.
stuff ready,
Hmm.
have your ducks in a row so that they are aware and uh, ready to be able to provide that valuable insight. They're not coattails to ride. They're
Yeah,
not like it's that's not it. That's not it. It's not a check of the box. Do the work. Just with anything else.
yeah,
Anything that's worth having is worth working for.
yeah. It's not about entourage, you guys. It's like if you're not willing to be Bruce Lee, don't go find Mr. Ip Man.
Yep.
Perfect
Yep.
example. That's right.
Yep.
There you go, right there. If you're
Yep.
not willing to be Bruce Lee, leave Ip Man alone.
Yep. Yep.
Leave that man alone. So it's like he said it best, climbing the ladder means nothing if you don't know who's holding it steady.
Yep.
That's why I got no ladders.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is let's see what Jonathan did today. He always gets us at the whenever we get to the closing part of the confession booth section, he always does this. And I'm like, what do he got in store today? Let's see. He's saying, For those of you all who know the confession booth is coming up, here we go. So it's like if we're going to ask the question, you can put your comments in your answer in the comment section below, or you can DM us anonymously if you just want to share that. We'll talk about it. No judgment. We'll hold it with some space and maybe a little bit of smoke, but we won't judge it. So let's see. I'm bracing myself. I haven't read it, so I'm gonna see. Say, what's one area of your life, and this is for you too, Emerald,
Yeah.
what's one area of your life where you feel the pressure to have it all together, but you're still figuring it out? Oh, that's not that bad. That's like
Yeah. That's a good one.
it's a good
That's a good
one.
one.
Do
I
you
mean,
want go? You
yeah,
go. Go
like
ahead.
I think, man, I don't think there I don't think there's one area of my life that I
Mm-hmm,
have it all together in. You know,
mm-hmm,
like I think that being self-aware is not a an attribute that a lot of people have, and self-awareness is not this easy thing to come by. And um, but that being said, like I feel like I am self-aware almost to the point of self-deprecation, where
mm,
it's
yeah,
like you see your flaws in it is just a bright light. Like seeing what I'm good at and seeing what I bring to the table is harder for me than seeing where I failed.
yeah,
So I I think like when you're talking about fatherhood, when you're talking about being a husband, when you're talking about being a leader, where you're talking about what you do in a given day at work, like where I'm spending my time on my off days, hindsight is always 2020, and it's
mhm,
like the biggest killer out there. Like
yeah,
I looking back and man, like I could have done this, I should have done that, I could have whatever. And holding that in a space and feeling it and acknowledging it, but then being self-aware enough to say, okay, hold on, like I did some good things today too.
hmm,
And allowing yourself space to feel the good is also key. But to be specific, like I think uh fatherhood is the number one thing that I'll like point
hmm,
to. And
hmm,
I I have okay, so I have a daughter, she's 5. I have a son who's like 16 months old. So um and they're two totally different kids. Like they're one is they're both incredibly intelligent, but one is incredibly intelligent and full of arts. Like she's just loves to be arts and crafts and doesn't is not a super athletic kid, doesn't like she likes being outside and stuff, but it's not soccer and basketball, right? Like it's just not that's not her jam. And then my son is like the quintessential daredevil, and that I can identify with because that's who I am. Like
yeah,
I love jumping off stuff, climbing tall things, being dangerous. Like it's and so that one's a little bit easier to identify with. The artsy piece is not like that's not where I live. But it
really?
yeah, like I guess I live it in a different way. Like I
Okay,
live it,
okay,
yeah, like she lives it with paints and color and things like that. I live it with metal and like wood and building things. And so it's
mm-hmm,
a little bit different. And I definitely can find the joy and the appreciation for what she's doing and celebrate it and all that kind of stuff. But there are situations where I project. right? Like
Mm,
I think
mm,
like
mm,
projection is kind of where I want to go with this little spiel here is that I you're my kids at no point in their life have they ever done anything with any kind of they're too young. Like just developmentally they're too young. They've never done anything with any kind of malice in their hearts.
mhm.
And with trying to hurt me, trying to say things to hurt me, whatever. Like they're all learning and they're all trying to experience life and figure out what words mean and figure out the emotional responses and stuff like that. But you know, there's moments where they say things, and my reaction in hindsight is the worst reaction I probably could have given. And you're like, man, like that one I failed at, like that
Mm.
one and so I do feel the pressure to have that one together because I am 50% responsible, if not more, to creating a human,
Yeah, yeah.
and there is pressure to have it together, but nah, like there's a lot of failure that's built in there, and
Mhm.
but acknowledging that failure and saying, "Yep, I screwed up in there. Let me do something different and move on." It speaks to that journey versus process concept.
Yeah.
Like parenting is not a process. There's not a rule book. There's not a you don't teach. There's not a class they teach. There's not it's one of the oldest professions. I call it a profession because it is, but it's one of the oldest things that humans have done is procreate, and I don't think we've gotten it right yet. And I don't think there's a single person that can say I was the perfect parent. And if you do say that, you're a liar.
Yeah.
I would tell you that to your face. So, but being a parent is, yeah, like there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of failure, and seeing the successes is harder than seeing the failures.
Yeah, that's good. That is really good. It's like I can't relate to that yet,
Yeah.
but I will hopefully soon. That's my hope. Is like I have to read this damn question again. What's one area of your life where you feel the pressure to have it all together? Oh, okay, that's different. But you're still figuring it out. So because I am a professional at what I do when it comes to like career and the things that I do in corporate America, the things that I do for the different businesses and things like that, organizing, I'm always, I want to say always, 90% of the time I am people facing,
Hmm.
and I am critically thinking about solutions long term, short term for multiple different brands and multiple different situations and industries. And me, who I am, is intertwined into that mix. So a prime example is like if I was going and hanging out with my peers and just trying to just be myself, like, and we're just not at work or anything like that, because I'm so used to being the responsible corporate figure that it's difficult for me to show up in the opportunities to where I could possibly develop a friendship with a coworker that would become
Right.
a real friendship, not just a working friendship. Right. You can tell when there's a difference between, oh, I'm hanging out with my coworkers or I'm hanging out with a friend.
Yep.
And so it's those moments of taking off the pristine, the
Yep.
pressure because I'm like number prime example. I'm here. I'm Mr. Locker Room here on this wonderful podcast, not just this one, but the other ones and possible new one coming through, right?
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Hmm.
But it's like now it's like I have a global presence as this host for this, right? So it's like that's one thing. And then I have my very real corporate identity to where the things that I do is associated with different brands, right? And how I help those brands, which means that um I not that I would be reckless and stupid and doing things out here that would be on extra, you know, but people nowadays they have cancel culture, and they have newsworthy spinoffs, or they'll try anyway to get a news thing out there. So it's like, Brandon, I'm not out here being wild and crazy, but it's like being in places or just talking and hanging out with people becomes a place of extreme critique for me, right? Because I know that anytime I step outside of my house, even if nobody's here, just me myself, I'm representing my whole life existence.
Yep.
I'm representing every mentor, I'm representing every teacher, every friend, every family member, every job, everything that's on my little curriculum vitae, whatever you want to say, internally or externally. I am representing that when I step out, when I open my mouth, the things that I do, how I dress, how I talk. And a lot of people don't pay attention to that. They don't care. But it's like it becomes important, especially the more public you become, the more you need to take that into consideration while still being your authentic self.
Yep.
That is the difficult part there, because it's like you can't forfeit genuineness for put togetherness.
Yep.
You can't forfeit authenticity for interview pristine, right? And that's where a lot of you do. And I'm not saying I'm a celebrity or anything like that, but when you look at like Kiki Palmer or um like Channing Tatum and things like that, and Zendaya and Zoe Saldana, when you look at people like that, and how they do their interviews and how they show up in life as themselves, as opposed to the character they play on TV.
Yep.
Um, there's a big difference, and they have to own it, right? Good, bad, come what may. Um, that's the pressure for me, is because the more I do business wise for myself or with corporations and stuff like that, the more of me I have to look and see how much more of me am I willing to give, or am I willing not to give it, to remain and hold on to the authentic me and to protect that. That is the pressure, because everybody's going to always want more. Your friends are going to want more. Your family's going to want more. Like the demand, especially if you're in entertainment, they always want more. They're never satisfied.
Yep.
So that's my pressure there. And then, finding those moments to where I can pull away with those family members, with those friends. Because not, and even we just had a special edition for Women's Worth where we talk about family edition, we talk about family issues and stuff like that. Not everybody in your family is a safe space.
Yep.
And not all your friends is a safe space. So it's like, where where do I find those safe spaces where the authentic, unfiltered, genuine me comes out, and I can breathe and just be and have that place of restoration, refreshing, and witnessing and staying power, so that I can come back and do this. You
Yeah.
know, that's the pressure for me, because, you know, I've been told that I have this gravitational magneticness that
That's
just
cool.
that yeah, yeah, it sounds cool,
Yeah.
but then it's like, I just want to be myself,
Yeah.
and me being myself is bringing these things and people into orbit,
Yep.
right?
There's a lot of
And
responsibility in that.
there is a lot of responsibility in that, because that we if let's say that is the major villain arc, if ever one could be created. you know like that can go one way or the other, right? And it's like, if God forbid I have a bad day, and then it's like I have all this potential to influence in one way or the other, right? It is a lot of responsibility. And we talked about, in one of the episodes for Locker Room Talks, about how sometimes men don't want that responsibility. I don't always want that responsibility. I can feel the weight of it. It is a huge responsibility. People are like, man, I want to be an influencer. I want to be a leader. It's like, leaders have people that follow them, that depend on them.
Hmm.
You can say, oh no, don't put me on a pedestal and stuff like that. But it's like you're a leader for a reason. If you look behind you and you don't have a pack of followers, you're not a leader. But if you
Yep.
have people, even undeclared leaders, you can tell because you have people that follow and look up to them. I have some people who they come to me for advice and different things like that, whether I want to admit it or not. I am a leader in some shape or form. And that comes with a responsibility. I don't always want that responsibility. I don't always feel like I am worthy of that, even though I know that I have my own intrinsic value. But still, those are the things that I have to face and that I deal with daily. I pray about it and all of those things because I'm a person.
Yep.
I'm me. I'm me.
Yep.
That's the pressure. And you know, I can't I can't hold that pressure on me to have it all together because that is a lie. That's deception. To say, oh, I will have it together. You have it together. At some point, you will have it all together. We will never really have it all together because you can't be on a journey that continues to grow you to the next place and have it all together. That means that your journey's over.
Yep. Yep.
So that's my confession booth right there because it's like letting go of being put together.
Yeah. It's a good
That
one.
yeah, letting go of being put together.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's screw you, freaking Jonathan. No, I'm just Jonathan and has definitely been amazing. But Emerald, we're here. I'm so
Yeah.
happy for this time together.
Yeah. It was good,
Um,
man. It was
yeah,
good.
some closing remarks. I'll have this closing remark here, unless you want to give some closing remarks to the
Go
people.
ahead, boss.
It's like we wear a lot of different titles, fathers, husbands, leaders, students. But presence is the thread that makes them matter. And presence is you being there, showing up and having the authentic nature and genuine responses, right?
Yep.
You never want to be pretending to be you in when you need to be there, right?
Yep.
Your family doesn't need you perfect. They just need you present. And it's not just your family, work, school, friendship, everything. You, when it's just you getting out the shower and you look in the mirror, you need to be present for yourself. Otherwise, if you don't believe you, nobody else is gonna believe,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're nail on the head, right? Like being a man is uh we wear different caps, we wear different hats at any given time, sometimes four, five, six in the same minute, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
We gotta it's this balancing act that is perpetually unbalanced.
yeah.
And the when you're reflective and you're that hindsight's killing you, you just got to remember that nobody's gonna remember that you failed. Nobody's gonna remember that you tried and failed, to be more specific. What they
Mm,
will remember is that you showed up, is that you tried, is that you were
yeah,
there. And
yeah,
we talked about my daughter and my wife and my friends and mentorships and all these other pieces. And the one true commonality is that none of those things can be impacted positively or negatively if I'm not there. So it's that's the that's the thread. That's the piece of what we
yeah,
sorry, there's my wife calling right there.
yeah,
But the big piece is we got to make sure that we're all here and
yeah.
we're ready and we're ready to receive the day and ready to receive the successes and failures.
That is it. Well, thank you so much, Emerald, for this time. You guys, you all know what to do. Hit the subscribe button right there. Don't forget to like and share. Please continue the conversation outside of this because we know that other people that want to hear and need to hear this follow us on all of our social media at Locker Room, LCKERROOM, especially at the website. And remember, truth, life, live. Locker Room men always do it better. Always. Peace out. Intro music, exit music.